Mozart, I'm so glad you could make it. We are welcoming a new apprentice, young Anton Epoch. Anton specifically requested your presence at the ceremony. He has composed a symphony and would like you to direct it.
Venerable, you do know I only direct my own compositions.
Certainly, but meet him, listen to his piece, and I'm sure you're going to like it. He sits in the founder's salon waiting for his initiation to start.
Who wrote these subtitles? I clearly saw the word specifically. Anyway.
I'm so happy you were able to free yourself. Rumors pretend that the Emperor has disappeared with his army. That's sad news, as he always protected our Masonic activities. Should the Emperor pass away, Leopold will then step up to the throne, and as far as I know, he disagrees with our practices.
The Emperor is fine. I met him.
It's hard for me to believe you, Mozart. I wonder if you are not the object of some kind of fabrication.
I'm appalled to have to report that the young Epoch is a forger.
Mozart, quiet down. This is surely a misunderstanding. It will be cleared as soon as Anton is allowed to talk. Members of the Assembly will now cast their votes in order to decide whether we welcome the young Epoch in our circle of initiation. Of course, Mozart, you shall vote too. The apprentice strongly wished so.
I'm not sure I can have an objective opinion about him, Venerable.
We keep our quarrels outside the temple. I entrust you with the coffer we use to cast our vote. You should prepare it as required by the rite.
And how do we do that? So we need to collect the Masonic tools and then present the completed arrangement to Schultz. So where do we get the tools from? Here's one. Wow, the sun is really low right now. Or there's a glitch.
I've been feeling a bit lonely since I arrived. Would you be able to arrange for some female company, Mozart?
Maybe you can take care of it yourself? That's the second time you've asked me now.
I need the Masonic tools to prepare the voting coffer.
Is that so? In this case, take the square, Mozart, and use it wisely.
What's happening to Mozart's hands right now? Is this a square? It definitely says triangle right here.
While you're here, you should take the time to get acquainted with the rites of our Prague chapter. Observe and wise up.
And then what should I do?
You seem to hesitate on the proper order to place the sacred tools of our brotherhood. I doubt that you are wise enough to prepare the coffer if you ignore the just order.
And what is the just order?
As far as politics go, we're like cats and dogs, but humanely. I always enjoy your company.
What did you think of that wicked apprentice?
You've been a bit rough with the young man, Mozart.
His so-called composition was only a rough mimic of one of my own pieces.
His father is a celebrity in Prague, and if you expect to be welcomed in our city, you better be careful.
Havel, how should I arrange the tools for the ceremony?
You should display them abiding to the local rite. First the ruler, then the compass, then the square, and finally the hammer.
Ah, there we go. Thank you very much. That was easy enough. Alright, I believe that is enough for now. Let's head back to Schultz's office. Maybe you should close these curtains?
Ah, I'm so happy you were able to free yourself.
The coffer is ready, Venerable.
Perfect, Mozart. We shall proceed with the voting. All the brothers have voted. Now it's your turn, Mozart. Take this. The white ball means yes. The black one means no. The vote is not secret. You can ask who voted what. In order to make your decision, you place one of the balls in the coffer.
If the voting isn't anonymous, then what's the point of the white balls and black balls?
Believe me, this young man needs a new family. I vote for him.
Of course, I voted against his admission. I hate this kind of rich brat.
Don't worry, Mozart. I cast my vote against the admission of the young troublemaker.
I voted in favor of admitting Anton. This young man is part of a very reputable family, and I am fully dedicated to his father's satisfaction.
Okay, so we can vote him in or vote him out. I'm going to embrace chaos. Let's vote him in.
Sirs, I am proud to announce that we do have a new apprentice, young Anton Epoch. I will let him know immediately.
Oh, help! Help me, brothers!
I found him like that when I entered the room. I don't know what happened.
And of course, the vote doesn't even matter, because he's dead.
How can we figure out if he is still alive? Chief Inspector, be patient. Maybe the young Epoch just fainted.
Nobody managed to resuscitate him. I fear the worst may have happened.
I sent a page to get a doctor. I wonder what happened to young Anton.
Is young Anton of fragile health?
I don't know. I don't really know him. This is the first time I meet him.
It so happens that some people are born with a certain frailty. I met a doctor who professes that these diseases can pass on from generation to generation.
What do you make of what's going on?
If you ask me, I guess young Epoch was raised in wealth. Maybe he was not used to the kind of tension that comes with the test we put him through.
Well, I confess he came across as a disrespectful daredevil, having the nerve to mock my work with such abandon.
Don't be so harsh, Mozart. Nobody here wished for the young apprentice to be so cruelly hit.
You're right. In fact, I don't hold any resentment against him, although he was quite insolent.
What test? You mean that sitting in front of a piano, blindfolded, is a test? I think I could pass that one. We need to check to see if he is still alive. So instead of checking his pulse and whatnot, we are going to see if his breath turns up on this mirror.
What do you think you're doing, putting a mirror right under the nostrils of the poor boy? Are you trying to choke him?
Check for yourself, Chief Inspector. No traces of breath on the mirror. The poor boy is dead.
I don't know where you learned these techniques worthy of a spy, but I have to admit it, Mozart, you are right. He passed away. We have to arrange for the corpse to be fetched. The Founder's Salon is no place for a cadaver to remain.
Wouldn't it be more appropriate if each of us just went back home quietly so we can avoid the scandal?
You must be out of your mind. We're at a crime scene and people will only get home after I have found the perpetrator. Still, comfort yourself. I already have some solid leads. Nobody leaves the lodge for now. Englander, sir, I am going to have to question you now. Don't worry, it won't take long.
I'd certainly like to understand what happened to young Epoch, too. I am sure we can find evidence around here.
Well, the guy wanting to leave and avoid a scandal, that's not suspicious at all. And why is he picking on the Scotsman?
So here's the so-called score of Anton Epoch's symphony. It seems like a crude mimicry of the Adagio of my own 38th Symphony, the one I dedicated to the city of Prague. With a few corrections, I can bring it back to its original state.
The awkward camera angle changes. That wasn't too bad.
I need to correct the score to get it back to its original form. Let's do it.
Now, there is actually some logic behind these, as we need to try to sort of recreate these patterns. So this one looks like it belongs here. There we go. Now, I am not musically minded at all, so if I happen to make some glaringly obvious mistakes, then please forgive me. Oh. Well, there we go. That went better than expected.
There we go. The score is completed. Here's the Adagio of the symphony back in its original glory. Let's hear how it sounds on the pianoforte.
Our Scotsman is innocent in the matter of the murder.
Do you seriously believe it may be a murder?
A young man, highly regarded in the best circles of the city? This can't be a natural death. Did you see with what violence Mozart provoked him just before he was found dead? Schultz, your duty is to help him arrest the killer who managed to slip amongst us.
Oh, most certainly. I'll do everything in my power to help you.
There was something under the piano. Where did it go?
What was under the piano? I must have missed it before because I have not seen anything under the piano, and there is nothing there now.
Strange case indeed. A young man collapses during a secret assembly. Had I not been here myself, I would have thought it was only the invention of some writer gone wild. Keller is going to suspect everybody, and I won't be the last on his list of ideal culprits.
We are probably the most suspicious right now, as we have been the only person to enter the room alone. Well, alone with Epoch, that I know of. We uncovered this roast. Is roast the correct word?
That's locked.
And I'm not sure if there is a clue here. But we need to... Actually...
There's some kind of engravement on the reliquary. It seems like two V-shaped objects that are intertwined. There's some kind of engravement on the reliquary. It seems like two V-shaped objects that are intertwined.
Oh really? How interesting. Thank you for clarifying that after the initial observation. So we need to make... Well, we have two V-shaped objects right here, but we can't use them on their own.
There's some kind of engravement on the reliquary. It seems like two V-shaped objects that are intertwined.
Yes, the keyword here is intertwined.
Seems like I need a thread of lead to open the reliquary's top.
Mozart, you can't touch that. These are pieces of evidence in my case. Please follow me this minute. Okay, get settled. So, did you know the victim?
No, I'd never met him before tonight.
If that's the case, why did you quarrel with him so violently?
I was shocked when he pretended to have composed a piece which I immediately identified as one of mine.
Did the victim actually claim that he had composed the said piece?
I have to admit he didn't make such a claim, and you know perfectly well why. An apprentice is forced to stay silent until he gets his initiation.
You criticized him, fully knowing he would not be able to defend himself?
I got carried away by my emotions. An artist is a very sensitive person, and sometimes I tend to overreact.
Your so-called overreactions, Mozart, are the talk of the town here in Prague. Unpaid debts, adultery, and now violent behavior. I have to put you in jail until I clear things up.
I do not understand why I'm here. I'm innocent. I won't rot in this cell. If I'm to clear my name and solve this mystery, I need to escape.
And how do we do that?
Of course, it's locked. I have to find a way to take a glimpse outside.
Oh, so they've put us in jail, but haven't taken away our hammer for some reason.
Hey, there is another cell. Maybe some companion of misery inhabits it. Hey, you! Please, answer for Christ's sake!
Why does he get a private cell? And what is he doing here? Surely he's not implicated as well.
What a surprise! My brother Mozart himself. You seem quite far from palaces and operas in here. Keller certainly knows how to extend a warm welcome towards his fellow Masons. Wouldn't you say so?
I don't feel like laughing about it. He declared me guilty without any proof.
Yes, that's strange. As far as I'm concerned, he is well aware of my opinions, and he knows I am an enemy of the state. But you are a revered companion of our Emperor.
Would you have the means to get us out of this pickle?
We need to escape as soon as possible. I fear conspiracies being bred behind conspiracies. If we don't make our move, we'll both end up in a tomb, Mozart. You, the musician, and me, the outcast.
Sure, but how can we do it?
It won't be easy. The door to the cell is locked by some kind of complex mechanism which wears the imprints of the Epoch House. You can easily guess it's a work of utmost quality. Maybe we could use the roofs. They seem to be undergoing repairs and should be easily accessible. Still, I need to open that door first.
Earlier on, I happened to get my hands on this clockmaker's set of keys.
How convenient. Of course, we cannot just hand them to him.
Well done, Mozart. I managed to get the keys. I can now try to free myself.
It seems like we are now in control of Havel for a short while.
Maybe you have an idea to help us out.
I'm a slave to God. Are you the angel Gabriel?
Hush, you'll get us caught. This uniform is too small. I can't wear it and pass as a policeman. Besides, I don't have the right haircut for this charade, so forget about it. I bet this policeman has the key to the cell where Mozart is. I need to neutralize him. This cell is empty, dark, and disgustingly damp.
I'm not sure of the exact trigger here, but I'm hoping it's this.
I am a slave to God.
If you go on with this ruckus, I'll have you thrown in a gutter, you sorry fool.
Right, so now he's responded. Hopefully this will work. Yes.
I am a slave to God, and I am waiting for the angel Gabriel.
So are you done with it? You're driving me crazy with your endless Virgin Mary rap.
Here's a big boy that's going to do a nice map. I'll get his keys, and here comes freedom, Mozart.
A big boy?
Good Lord, at long last. I thought I was going to have to wait till Christmas passed.
Close enough. Here are your watchmaker's keys. They really came in handy.
Right, let's just escape. I don't think this guy here has any further dialogue for us.
So, we finally reached the roof. But how do we get back down to the street?
This is quite a nice view.
The wheel of the pulley seems to be in good shape, but the axle axis in the middle is all twisted.
Havel, be careful. I'd hate to see you crash on the pavement.
Oh, I'm sure there'll always be a fat policeman underneath to break my fall like a plum cushion. The pulley is broken, but the axis seems usable.
Let's borrow Mozart's hammer. Although I'm not sure why Mozart can't just do this himself.
I may have found a way to get us out of our misery. Still, I need a tool. Would you have an idea, Mozart, as you seem always so resourceful?
I guess my mason's hammer could be useful.
Ah, Freemasonry. That's really the sole fraternity that you can count on in dire times. This loose piece was where the pulley used to hang. I need to fix it if I want to use the hoist.
Alright. Ah, okay. I pressed the wrong thing. No? Ah, okay. Right. Don't mind me.
Havel, I never had more fun with a brother before. I really owe you one.
You're a great man, Mozart. What do you intend to do now?
I'll head back to the lodge. I need to try and find evidence to clear my good name.
You're a man of honor, Mozart. Take good care of yourself.